Good morning, people. Welcome to today's video. Welcome back to Road to Ripped. I believe we are on episode 15 and now on day 78 of Road to Ripped for Road to Ripped 2025. Wow, it's been quite some time. There is a lot of updates that I have to give you, but for right now, Green Monster, sugar-free, of course, and I'm gonna slap 2 pieces of this Orbit White on my way to work this morning. And by all means, this is going to be my breakfast of champions for today. All right, people, we are back in the car. The time is 12:15. I forgot I had like a business lunch to go to today, and it's at like a non-chain restaurant called Cross Creek. So I'm just going to show you what I get and show you how I track it. And that is at least a good experience for seeing how I track things on the go when it's hard to track and it's not at a normal place. That said, notepad ready. Time for a nice little lunch. And also, once I got to the office, realized I had this lunch, I kind of knew it might be a little higher calories, so I made sure not to eat anything before. So I've literally just had the gum, the energy drink, and just been working through the morning. So hopefully we don't blow everything today during this meal. Hour and a half later, lunch went very well, got a lot of good information and things done in there. And we did have a pretty nice meal, and I think a pretty healthy meal too. So I got 12 shrimp grilled, but with blackening seasoning on it, with a side of broccoli and sweet potato. The sweet potato had like the cinnamon butter, didn't use any of that. There was like no butter on the shrimp or the broccoli, which was really good. A little bland of a meal. I might be a little hungry still, but I feel like it was actually pretty freaking tasty. And I just put everything in. I think this is a pretty fair and accurate way that I tracked everything. Came out to 540 calories for the meal. Not bad at all. And we do have now 53 grams of protein. So it was a pretty high protein meal with like 12 good sized shrimp in there. So yeah, simple decisions, right? Get some sort of vegetable, get some sort of light carb source. Don't use a bunch of oils and fat, and then get a large portion of some sort of high protein, low fat meat. And you should be pretty good to go for like a work lunch or whatever you got to do. And of course I had to have a second lunch today. And it is once again a nice little clean eats meal. And a new one that I never had before. So this is the chicken fajita bowl. It is, I think, chicken thighs with rice, peppers, onions, and like a little bit of cheese sauce over top. Once again, I feel like Clean Eats is kind of stepping up their game. And I feel like everything considered, the calories and macros of this are still good as well. Let's see how it is. That is phenomenal. Probably one of the better meals that I've had recently from them. Quality of the chicken, I feel like, is just really, really good. It's got a good amount of volume in here too, with the rice and the peppers. And I feel like that first meal was really good, but I could not go a day without having one of my Clean Eats at least. And I'm really happy I chose this one. So I'm dialed in on a couple things right now that I need to continue working on. Probably just gonna sit and enjoy this. And then I also am gonna have this as like my little dessert, the protein rice cake Krispies from Prozys. Another insane option. 100 calories, 10 grams of protein in this. Crazy good as like a little dessert or even like a little snack. Calories and macros are still insanely on point right now. We're under 1,000 calories. We have 91 grams of protein, and I do feel pretty good, pretty satiated. Yet another tasty high protein meal at work. Home from work, finally, and it was a long day, but now we get to enjoy the rest of the day. And actually, yesterday was a fantastic day because I got a package from Prozys. So I figure we'll sit down and go through some of the new stuff that I got. And do not forget, massive Prozys giveaway going on right now throughout the month of June. Anything you order, all you gotta do is use my code. Send me your order ID on Instagram DMs. You're automatically gonna be entered to win a $250 giveaway gift card to Prozys. Huge opportunity. So make sure you're doing that. Send me the DM. Link down below. Code is Suggs10. But let's go through some of this stuff and see if you want to get anything that I decided to get this month. All right, so one of the biggest things that I needed was more of their zero whey protein. This is in the plastic container. Normally, the last one came in bags, but this is like their lowest calorie highest protein to calorie ratio protein. It's 80 calories and 21 grams for 20 grams of protein. This is the strawberry flavor. All really, really solid options though, especially for the protein to calorie ratio. I think I'm just gonna slowly start collecting their shaker cups. This one's really nice though. It's got like a nice pop top, that insert in it so you don't have to use a blender thing. And it has a nice little container if I want to put maybe some pills in here or some protein powder or something like that. Take it on the road. Pretty cool. This is a re-up on one of my favorite pre-workouts from them, their Burn pre-workout. I'm sorry, their Ripped pre-workout. And it's like a nicely stemmed, well-rounded pre-workout, but it also has like the cayenne pepper in there and a couple other things that help with like the thermogenic effect. So if you're on a cut, maybe something you want to try out. And that actually came with, for free, some beta alanine as well. There is 91 servings in this right here. So huge supply of beta alanine. And beta alanine is like kind of what gives you that tingling feeling when you're working out. So if you like that, quick little pickup to feel that feeling when you're in the gym. This I got 2 of, and I actually tried this yesterday. A little bit of this plus a banana. An incredible pre-workout snack. And it's literally peanut butter, but with like some crunchy bits in there. And it also has a little bit of added protein. Yeah, flavor, incredible. I'm sorry, I had a lot of this stuff last night because I was like so excited about it. And I love these as well. So these are just little rice puffs, right? The amount of volume, if you're someone like me who like loves cereal, especially soft cereal, the amount of volume you get with this, it's literally just rice puff with like a little bit of honey coating over top. Super clean ingredients and so filling. I had a bowl of this last night with just some milk for dessert. Fantastic. I did get some new protein bars. This is their like main protein bar, and it actually has really solid macros as well. 120 calories and 9 grams of protein. Let's get a little mini protein bar test in while we're at it. So this is their cookies and cream flavor. So here's how we're looking. The smell, you can taste that cookies and cream instantly. Yeah, not bad at all. You just get a nice little protein center with a chocolatey outside, and all around, pretty solid, nice little snack. Also very pumped for this one. So I've had the Choco Nuts before in the hazelnut, like milk chocolate flavor. This one's white chocolate cashew with raspberry. Macros on this, definitely a little more, 280 with 6 grams of protein, more of like a nut focused bar. And with the extra calories, you definitely get a little more size with that. But here's how we're looking. Just kind of break that in half so you can see. This, as like a breakfast bar, would be really good. The white chocolate almost tastes like a vanilla yogurt a little bit. Really heavy fruity flavor from the raspberries, and you get the nuts in there as well, with a little bit of crispy from something else. So I feel like it's almost like eating a yogurt bowl in a bar. These should be very similar to me, I feel like. I've had protein wafers before. These are about 200 calories and about 18 grams of protein, and they look very similar to like the wafers that I've had in the past. Let's see how they taste though. They're delicious. I mean, the wafer style of a protein bar is one of my favorites because of the different layers of consistency, because of the volume that you get, and they're normally pretty high protein and lower calorie, and that's exactly what I would call these. So definitely a very solid option. Highly would recommend checking these out if you want something like that. This is awesome. We got some powdered peanut butter. This I'm very excited to try out. So it's like a complete breakfast shake. So it's supposed to have a bunch of like antioxidants, fruits, some grains in there, as well as protein powder. Also, each serving of this, 150 calories with 20 grams of protein. So it's literally like having a breakfast morning shake as your protein shake. These I absolutely loved the first time. The little L-carnitine shooters. Just took them pre-workout, and I don't know how much of a difference they made, but I feel like they did, so I had to re-up on these. I'm not a huge person on gels. Well, I say that. I've never had gels before or like noticed that they've worked for me. Either mid-workout or if maybe I'm working out in the morning, take one of these. I feel like it's gonna be a pretty good option for me. I've been having these if I work out in the morning or if I do morning cardio, the H2O Burn. And then if I don't want anything with some stim in it, just like want a liquid IV type of thing, I have just the normal flavored one as well. I've heard really good things about people taking magnesium recently. So I did get a little multi-supplement that has magnesium, vitamin V, Panethric acid, which I don't know what that is, magnesium and zinc. And then I re-upped on the Cutgenic. The thing I like about this as a fat burner is the caffeine is really low. 3 capsules of this has 90 milligrams of caffeine. I normally only have 2 capsules, so it makes it way, way less stimulated on the body. And that's pretty much everything we have in here. A couple other like re-up stuff in here as well, or like duplicates. But all around, really excited with the stuff that I got personally and that I've already tried. As always, if you do try anything, let me know either with an Instagram DM or a comment down below. But now we've done a little unboxing, let's get a little lift in. Okay, quick fit change, by the way. New TLF shirt. We'll talk about that later though. I am going to do for pre-workout today. We'll go ahead and do the new ripped pre-workout. Well, I guess the re-up of the ripped pre-workout. And that should be solid. We got a little back and bi day queued up. So I'm gonna start on the Stairmaster and then we'll get into it. All right, warm up done. And like I said, it's gonna be a little back and bicep day. So the first thing we're gonna do, like we do every single back day, is going to start out with a single arm cable pull, kind of a high to low. And I feel like this is a good activator for the lats. 2 or 3 maybe warm-up sets, then like 3 really good hard working sets. So it is a warm-up that turns into a very good first exercise for back. All right, next exercise, something we haven't done in a little while, but is a really good exercise nonetheless, and that is T-bar rows. So we have a little setup right here. I'm gonna do probably 3 good hard working sets of that 8 to 10 rep range. Want the form relatively tight, not a lot of movement in the lower back, and focusing on getting a good squeeze, slow, controlled reps. And like I said, a really, really solid movement for the overall development of the back. All right, that one was killer. Now we're gonna wrap up back with a pull in. Not the same type of pull in we were doing before, but this is with a cable rope attachment. And the focus is keeping the arms straight, pulling straight in towards your hips, and you feel a really nice squeeze in your mid upper back and a little bit in your lats as well. We're gonna wrap up with 3 sets of like 12 to 10 here, a little higher rep too. And that should wrap us up for the back portion of the workout. Now working into biceps, and we're gonna start with an easy bar bicep curl. The range 8 to 10, solid, good, full range of motion reps. You almost wanna flex your tricep at the bottom of the rep and then feel like really good squeeze at the very top. That way you're making sure you're hitting the full range of your bicep all the way through. And 3 sets of 8 to 10 of this, it will be a really good start to biceps today. And we're gonna wrap up with just a little bit of forearm, some alternating hammer curls. We'll do 3 sets of this, pretty much to failure. It should be around 12 to 15 reps. And that should wrap us up for the workout today. Workout done, pretty solid. Not the best I've ever had, but somewhere in between for sure. And now on to the physique update time. All right, people, so physique update o'clock. And there is quite a bit to talk about. I'm gonna say right now, I wouldn't say still recovering from the weekend, but I definitely feel like a little depleted and dehydrated from the weekend still. And I think you might be able to see a little bit of that in the physique today. But that does mean a couple things. And we'll start with the weight. I'm not totally sure exactly what day we left off on the last video. It was like either the 4th or the 5th. But as we kind of look through here, you can see we were hovering around that 210 mark. And so the 5th was, I believe, a Thursday. Thursday happened to be the day that I go out, like the one time of the month that we have our little friends dinner club. And I woke up at 5 a.m. in the morning, got a huge lift in, did some cardio, went to work, did cardio at lunch, really trying to prep and make sure I didn't completely blow my calories out and my cardio out and whatever, because I knew I was gonna be eating a large meal. Well, come to the mealtime, we went to this like really fancy sushi Japanese place, and I ate everything in sight, literally everything in sight. And it got to the point where I was like, all right, I know I just had easily maybe 4,000 or 5,000 calories. Well, we'll look at that in just a little bit. and I didn't wake up and track my weight. That was on Friday, or I'm sorry, that was on Thursday. Friday, I ate very little because I was very full from the night before, and I knew I needed to cut back quite a bit. So come Saturday morning, I finally did weigh myself, and we did pretty well actually. Weighed in at 206.6. That's one of the lowest weigh-ins we've had all road to ripped, and not quite the lowest perhaps, but definitely down there. And like most things, you know, on the weekends, I know I'm gonna weigh a lot less, especially if I have a couple of drinks the night before or whatever. And that was on Saturday morning, we weighed that 206. Sunday morning, I weighed 205.9, so just a little bit lower, surprisingly, which is really, really solid. And then this morning at 207.7. We're trending right now, staying under 210. And like I said, the previous videos, under 210 is 100% the goal. Now, do I feel like I can really tell and see that in the physique? Yeah, actually, yeah. I feel a little more dry. I think the vascularity is coming through just a little more than it has been recently. The goal is to help keep this and stay like this. Don't bounce back up. And I really think after this time around, I don't foresee myself getting too high above that fluctuating point of 210 for the rest of Road to Ripped. Now let's talk calories. I'm pretty sure we left off on, it was either Tuesday or Wednesday in the last video, but just let's start with Tuesday. We had 2,200 calories right within that goal, 235 grams of protein. That could have been the day we filmed actually, because that sounds really good. Popping into Wednesday, little over 2,600 calories, not terrible, 200 grams of protein, so still hitting the protein goal very nicely. Thursday, like I said, this was the big day. It says nearly 4,000 calories. I think it might have been a little over that, truly. But regardless, I tracked as much as I could. 170 grams of protein in that day, so not really ideal. Friday, like I said, really, really low on the calories and low on the macros as well. Now Saturday, I didn't track, but I actually feel like I did really good. I woke up, had a really tasty, like high protein, low calorie breakfast. I took a picture of it actually, I posted it on my Instagram story. If you're not following me, make sure you do that. And then I had a little bit of extra like snacks, a banana and stuff throughout the day, played golf, went to the beach, hung out, and then ended up going out that night as well, which I definitely shouldn't have done. Sunday was a recovery day. Definitely spent a lot of time on the couch, and I did get Chipotle, but I didn't like overeat and get like a bunch of gross food throughout the day, so I feel like that was kind of helpful. Coming back yesterday, right around 2,500 calories, and then today is today. Let's see how the protein was yesterday though. Protein was fantastic, 217 grams of protein yesterday. So back on today, that 1,200, which we'll talk about in just a little bit because I added the protein bars in there. So all around, how do I feel like we're progressing? Could I be making a lot better decisions? Yes, absolutely. Is this the most ideal way to perform a cut? Absolutely not. But I'm trying to find my personal balance of working out as much as possible, trying to get in the best shape as possible while also enjoying my life along the way. And I feel like from reviewing the weight, reviewing the calories and macros, and also how I'm looking in the mirror, I feel like we are on that road. And right now, that's all I can really hope for. And of course, still gonna do my cardio today. Nothing changes with that. And once I get that done, then I can finally have protein and pretty solid workout. All in all, about 2 hours done. I feel like I'm gonna have enough protein given my dinner that I already have planned for tonight. So I'm just gonna do about 1.5 scoops of this. And like I said, this is the new strawberry zero whey. And it has a fun little, it's almost like a purple color actually. But I'm gonna go ahead and drink this and shower. This does leave our calories and macros, I think, sitting really nicely for the day still. Like I said, I put all the protein bars in there, like the halves or the fourths or whatever of the protein bars that I did eat. Have the protein in there as well. 1,300 calories for the day, solid 128 grams of protein, also solid. And like I said, I had this last night as well. The flavor is very, very good too. Done with a shower. And before we get into dinner, I want to show you this. So you saw the shirt I was wearing earlier today. This is actually a new launch, not only a new launch, but I'm pretty sure an all new material from TLF that I absolutely love. This is their, like I said, think new Dura cotton material. Very, very similar to a normal cotton shirt, but you still get some of that stretch and flex in there. For an oversized pump cover kind of like this, I really, really like that style. And then look at these new designs we're coming out in. This is also a new material as well. This is their Luxe cotton. A little more stretchy. You can kind of tell the elasticity of it is a little more than like their Dura cotton like this here. Both incredible options. I really like the new style they're kind of going with in their like oversized tees. And all of these new styles are literally about to drop. So June 12th, if you have the TLF app, which I highly recommend getting, you can go ahead and get them then. On June 14th, they're gonna go live on the site. They're probably gonna sell out quick like a lot of their stuff does. So I recommend getting the early access on June 12th. You can use my discount code TLF-SUGS. You're gonna save that 25% off. It'll help you, it'll help me. And honestly, I really, really like the new styling and the new just cloth material that TLF's been coming out with recently. But now on to dinner, and I have a little bit of a confession to make. We're gonna have leftovers tonight. I made a really, really good meal last night with a combination of a couple things. Number one, we used some diced peppers, some diced onions, some ground beef, that 96.4 ground beef. And first thing I did was put the peppers and onions together in a pan, let that get browned up, put the beef in there, and I hit it with some all-purpose seasoning from Kinder's. Some really, really good stuff, I think. And I had that in a bowl for dinner last night with a packet of the Path of Life. I think the one was Southwest, like mango or something like that. Quinoa and kale mix, and I just had half last night, gonna have half tonight. And considering it's almost 9 p.m., it is nice to kind of get this over with. So this can just go in the microwave for a little bit, but I am gonna actually have an avocado with it, or at least a half an avocado. And as that comes out of the microwave, we can go ahead and add our half an avocado, as well as a little bit of salsa. And in under 3 minutes, our dinner is born. I know you can't really tell what's in here at all, but I promise I had it last night, and it's really good. Yeah, the only thing I didn't have in here last night was the avocado, and it makes a big difference. I love an avocado with ground beef. And I know I didn't have to make it tonight, but those Path of Lives, I've talked about it a billion times at this point, they're just so easy. A couple minutes in the microwave, get 2 meals out of them, boom, you're good to go. This meal itself does have a half pound of ground beef in there. 600 calories, not bad at all. Under 2,000 for the day, and 185 grams of protein. So a pretty voluminous, simple, and high protein dinner, and we still have plenty of room for dessert later too. Dinner done, cleanup all done, and we're gonna have a dessert tonight, and we're gonna hit our protein, and that's because we're gonna have a dessert that I've been having quite a bit actually, as of recent, and that is a little yogurt bowl. First things first, we'll hit the yogurt in the bowl. Next, we'll do the toppings, and this is where I like to get creative. I'm gonna do some of these little mini blueberries. The flavor of these are great, and like they have a lot more antioxidants than the normal blueberries. They're really, really solid. Next, we'll do some protein granola from Prozys. Just a nice sprinkle of that over top. This actually has chocolate chips in it as well. And lastly, I figured this would be a good idea. We can use some of our brand new protein cocoa crisp peanut butter and give that a nice little drizzle over top. Now that is a beautiful looking dessert right there. So you saw it when it looks pretty. I just mix it all together. That way it's more enjoyable to eat because you get all the flavors mixed together as well. And so definitely not as appetizing looking now, but ironically it is more appetizing this way. And I love how all the flavors in here just kind of blend together so nicely. And not only the flavors, the consistencies, textures as well. You get the smooth, sweet yogurt, the kind of tart, kind of dense blueberries, the nutty peanut butter, and then the crunchy granola. There's some reason why when I start having this for a dessert, I end up getting a little addicted and have it like most nights. And I think because there is just so much at play here that all mixes really well. And I mean, that is one part of it, but the second part is the calories and macros of it. I think we're at like, what, 180 grams of protein or somewhere around there before. The meal was 275 calories. Not bad at all. We're under 2,200 calories for the day, which is our goal right now. And 213 grams of protein. Also, a beautiful split on the fats and carbs as well. So all around, that is an ideal full day eating. It's a good way of getting back on track after a rough weekend, and it's also a nice way forward for Road to Rip 2025. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, as always, a thumbs up always goes a long way. I'll be seeing you very shortly for the next video, so don't go anywhere. Subscribe to the channel. Peace. This the anthem. If you rockin' with it, put your hands